I bought the seat pads so you don't have to. So let's get into it. All right, so disclaimer. I am not sponsored by any of these. These are just ones I purchased on Amazon within a reasonable price range, and my honest reviews and thoughts on them based on using them. I'll tell you which one's my favorite out of the three and why, but we're gonna go over how easy or hard these are to get on and off of the rowing machine. I am doing this on the Concept 2. I don't have a water rower, so this might vary depending on your machine, your seat. So those are definitely things to consider. I know that most of the seats do have similar contours, so a lot of them should be transferable between different machines, but I can't speak for all of them. But we're also gonna go over just kind of my thoughts. All right, y'all, so I've got 3 pads that I'm gonna review today in this video. We've got the Hornet seat pad, nice, thin, easy. Then we've got the Vapor Fitness one. You can see it says Vapor Fitness across there. Kind of like a gel squishy, but more like silicone based, I believe. And then we've got the 2K Fit. We're gonna go over the pros and cons of all of these, so let's go. All right, so we're gonna start with how easy is it to get these things on. This right here is the Vapor Fitness one. Comes in a variety of different colors, but we're gonna review all 3 of these. So to get started, you'll notice that there's a contour. You kind of see on this one, matches the contour of your seat. So you'll see the divot. Some people do have their seat reversed. Kind of can be personal preference, but you'll notice that there's a divot and that there's an up part, divot and up part, and you just slide it on. But yeah, so pretty easy, pretty compact, kind of, I mean, it can mold and fit into your bag. You can kind of like do like that, but that's how you get it on and off. All right, so next we got the 2K Fit. You can see it's nice and big and bulky, not as easy to travel with, bring around to a gym or something. So it might be a little bit easier if you've got your own machine, but it's got these straps on the back. You're basically just gonna strap this to your seat and make it nice and tight so it doesn't move around for you. So let's do it. All right, so to put on the 2K Fit, basically you got these nice straps on there. You're just gonna basically put the pad on there, take those straps and stick them around, just like that. Nice and fast and easy. You might want to tighten it around so you don't get much movement of the seat as you go, especially if you're a person who has a lot of friction issues. But notice it does add a lot of height, which we'll talk about. But that's how you get it on. To take it off, you can either unbuckle or you can just slide it right off and voila. All right, so next we've got the Hornet one. You can see nice and thin. It's got a little bit of a gel pad to it. So it just kind of like goes in like that. Nice and easy and compact. You can bring it with you. So if you're traveling to a gym, good one to keep in mind. But basically all you're gonna do is take this when you're putting it on and stick it right on the seat. Now, if you're a person who moves around a lot or you've got your own machine, you can do something where it attaches, put some Velcro on your seats or figure something else out for it. Personally, I'll move around a lot, so a little bit of that will depend on your form. All right, so we're gonna start with the 2K Fit one. Now, first, right off the back, you can see that this is the thickest out of all of them. Now, it adds about 2 inches to the height of your seat. Now, it has a lot of cushion. You can see if I push in, it's got some give, it's like a foam padding. You can take this off. You can see the foam inside. So if this got dirty, you could take it off and wash it, which is nice. I did not look on if you should wash it, but you can take it off, which is cool. It might be a little bit hard to get back in, but yeah. All right, so with this one, it's also one of the only ones I got that has these straps, which means you put it on the seat and you put the straps around it. Now, we're gonna talk about the thickness really quick again. So this thickness has some pros and some cons. Now, if you're looking at this from a physical therapy mobility perspective, which of course, that's what I do, it does have some positives and some negatives when it comes to that. So when you actually end up raising yourself higher on the seat on the rowing machine, what happens is it changes the angles at your hip, your knees, and your ankles. Now, depending on if you have more or less mobility in any of those areas, having a higher seat might actually benefit you. And if you watch one of my videos about which rower to buy, I actually talk about the rowing machine and how some of them have a higher seat. I did mention this on the hydro video that I most recently did. So when we talk about the rowing machine and the seat height, that height of the seat could be higher or lower in relation to your foot plate. And that honestly might make a big difference on which rowing machine to buy for you. But that's not what this video is about. But this seat pad will actually raise you up, which might end up giving you that kind of effect. So if mobility, flexibility are issues that you have or things that you want to look at and consider, I'd recommend giving this a shot and seeing if it helps or makes things worse. It kind of depends on where your issues are. I hope to do another video on that soon. It's coming. But yeah, so this one overall has a lot of nice cushion. It does add that seat height. For me, adding that seat height isn't quite what I want. It brings things a little bit too weird since I've been rowing since 2001. But for you, this might be great. Nice cushioned, does not, it definitely adds some comfort to your booty, which is nice, and probably the reason that you're getting one of these. Do make sure that it's nice and tight on the rowing machine though, on the seat. Do make sure that it's nice and tight on the seat though. And the reason for that is some people get these because they've got some butt chafing kind of things going on. And I'm doing another video on that, so check that one out. But if you are having some butt chafing type of issues with it, and this is moving, you're adding more possibility of friction points. Or this seat cushion actually might make it easier if it's a little bit loose, because maybe it's moving on the seat instead of your butt moving on the seat. So you could try it out, see how it goes, but you can also do that with one of the other ones I'm going to talk about. But yeah, give it a shot. All right, so while I was editing this, I realized I didn't really talk about whether it was compact and easy to travel with. As you can see, it's pretty thick and bulky. Not very good to travel with, but nice if you're using it on your rowing machine at home and if you're not going very far or if you don't care about how bulky it is. All right, so the next one is the Vapor Fitness one. This one is more of a silicone base. Nice and flimsy, easy for you to kind of push it together, bring it with you if you are a person who doesn't have your own machine and you're going back and forth between like a CrossFit gym or a regular gym, and you just need to basically have something to bring with you. It's pretty stuck in what its positioning is though, so it's like it's not really flimsy, but or it's flimsy because you can do things, but it does have its molded position. So that might play in when it comes to you actually traveling with it. But putting it on and off, pretty easy. Since it doesn't have any foam, to be honest, I didn't find that this really added much cushion, but that's my opinion. I also have a big booty, so I've already got some built-in cushion. So just my thoughts on it. But overall, to be honest, this was my least favorite one. Some people love it. It does add some color to your machine. They have this in like green and different colors. So if you're looking for some nice pop in your machine, it can definitely add that. But in terms of actual like cushion, I didn't find it did much for me. It does have some like push into it. And overall, that's about as thick it is. So if I put it up to my finger, you can see it's got some thickness to it. So it does add some comfort and might be all you need, but something to think about. All right, so this is the last one. This is the Hornet one. It is nice and small. You can see it's not very thick if we put it up against my finger. It's about the same, or it's a little bit less thick, but it's got the foam in there. So it's a little bit more cushiony, and it's got some give to it. But this one, again, kind of like the Vapor, I can roll it up, I can travel with it, super easy to use and bring with you. But this is actually my favorite. So you can kind of see there's some wear and tear on it. This is my favorite one if I'm gonna use a seat pad. Doesn't change the mechanics by raising me too high on the seat. and provides just a little bit of that seat comfort for you. If you're on your own machine, you might want to attach it to your seat. So this grip might not be enough to keep it there. Kind of depends on you and how you row. For me, I don't move a lot on my seat with the back and forth. So I'm fine with this. This doesn't move on me, but for some of you it might. So this is a little bit grippy. You can kind of see the little bumps on there. So it's got some grip to it to kind of keep it on the seat. So even me trying to move my hand on it, I can't really, but you can see I can like slide on the other side. So it should stay in place, but if not, try adding some Velcro strips to it and sticking it on your seat. See if that helps. But overall, this one's very, very compact and easy to bring with you, easy to kind of maneuver around, and the easiest one to just place on the machine. They're all pretty easy to get on and off the machine, as you saw, but overall, this one's my favorite one. Again, all the links are below. All right, so let's talk prices of these 3 seat cushions. So the most expensive out of the 3 that I looked at is the Vapor Fitness, and it is $49.99 at the time of recording on Amazon. Now, the cool thing is it does come in a variety of colors. So it's black, pink, red, lime green, khaki. So if you're looking for some variety in like adding a pop to your machine, that's awesome. Personally, I think for $49.99 being the most expensive, might not be worth it. I don't feel like it added a bunch of cushion, to be honest, but if what I chatted about and what you know about it or have heard sound good, then give it a shot. But personally, as the most expensive, not a fan. All right, so the next one up is the 2K Fit one. So the nice big black thick one. This one at the time of recording is $36.99. It does say it's 8% off, and it's usually marked at $39.99, which still makes it cheaper than the Vapor Fitness one. Adds a ton of cushioning. So if you're looking for that, or you're looking to raise your seat for mobility issues, this is a fantastic option. It does provide cushion, but it's not that great for traveling. So totally up to you, but that's kind of the price of where it stands right now. All right, then there's the Hornet one. Now, this is the cheapest option. It's $19.99. I find it to be the most compact. It doesn't add a ton of cushion, but it does add a little bit of cushion if that's what you're looking for. So, as I mentioned, that one's my favorite for its compactability and the slight amount of cushion that, if I were to use one, that I need. But also a pretty solid price point and really easy to move around and can fit on any machine without issues, would be my guess. I can't say for certain, like I mentioned earlier, but yeah, so $19.99 for that one. So overall, give you kind of a $20 to $50 price range, options looking at under $100. But see what you think. If you've got your questions, please feel free, reach out. I will come on, answer your questions to the best of my ability. My shop is underneath. My gym is currently the shop, which means it's a little hard to make some videos. But I hope y'all have a great day, and please hit that subscribe button, help my tiny little channel out.